Hi, this is Tony, Sifu Fiore. I wanted to give a little talk today about a lot of things that are going on in our world and how it seems like our world is just surrounded by hatred. So, the topic is I'm going to talk about the world's great religions and what we have in common with each other. It's interesting that there are similarities. I also wanted to address the point of I wanted to find the difference. Well, I'm not the one defining it. This has been defined by much more superior spiritual beings than me. The difference between a blessing from God, which means spiritual gifts, not a big house, not a bunch of clothes, not a car. Those aren't blessings from God. Those are material objects that you blessed yourself with. Here, let me explain the gifts from God, and I'm going to start with humanism. They're atheists, which I'm fine. That's fine. They have their own principles, just like everybody else. And by definition, they believe in relieving human stress. They believe in the potential of goodness of the human being. They emphasize the human needs, and they seek solely rational ways of solving human problems. Okay, that sounds a lot like Hinduism. It sounds a lot like Christianity, Buddhism, Judaism. So whether you realize it or not, and you're a non-believer in any of this, that's fine. I was once as well. These principles didn't come out of your mind. They came from our traditions. So let me start with one of the oldest religions on the planet that we know of, and that would be Hinduism, Gandhi's religion, his faith. Gandhi happens to be one of my fans. I'm sorry. I am one of Gandhi's big friends. And Gandhi did a lot. He backed up his faith with action. And what did Gandhi own? Nothing. At his death, here were his belongings. A bowl, a spoon that he ate with, his spectacles, his sandals, and a robe. That's it. So you might say he was broke and poor, and I wonder why people in our society walk past the sick, diseased, and homeless and curse them out and tell them, go get an effing job, you bum. So the tradition of giving in Hinduism is a key point. And as they say, it's a universal tradition of giving that was stressed by Buddha himself, Siddhartha, the first Buddha. Okay. So they have the tradition of loving, detached compassion, and spreading enlightenment. And I know a lot of Buddhists, and I see them on Facebook or wherever, and I see them saying and behaving ways that, quite frankly, scare me. And I know Buddha, well, I don't know what he would say because I'm not him. Let me just read this and you think what he would say. If living beings knew the fruit and final reward of generosity and the distribution of gifts, as I know them, then they would not eat their food without giving to others and sharing with others, even if it were their last morsel and mouthful. They should meet a person who is worthy of receiving a gift. Selfishness shall not abide in their hearts. Okay, so that's a quick overview of Hinduism. And I think I'm going to have to do a few more parts to this video. Next, I'm going to discuss Buddhism. There's a lot of different types of Buddhism. Okay, I'm not even going to name them. There's so many. But they also have a tradition of giving, acceptance, and love, and enlightenment. And Taoist thought teaches us that there are astral hells. There are different dimensions. Same with the Hindus. They believe in multiple galaxies, and they've been talking about this for ages. I favor Tibetan Buddhism and Zen. The Tibetan Buddhism is more closely aligned with what I believe in, as everybody knows. That's the Dalai Lama. And I know the Dalai Lama. I don't know him personally, but I've heard him speak, and he's appalled by the conditions of the world and is asking people to help one another. Just as now I'm going to go next to the gifts that Judaism gave us. So Judaism gave us laws and told us the difference between right and wrong. Okay, I think the biggest thing that they gave us, the greatest thing, the greatest gift, was the Ten Commandments. I'm not gonna. I'll recite them all, but here it goes. I am the Lord your God. You shall not have strange gods before me. How many people today, their gods are money, materialism. They don't believe in a God. They believe that this is it, so they get everything they can get. Okay, this is the end of part 1. Part 2 is coming up right now. We'll talk to you soon for part 2.